one thing that people have had on repeat for the last few weeks is how on earth is Blackbeard actually Rox's son? Cause Zebek, yeah, me and him are on a first name basis, okay? This guy has infinite aura. This guy killed an admiral. This guy faced Emu. This guy was gonna be king of the world, okay? Until he supposedly died in God Valley, which I don't believe happened at all. What I believe happened to him, I'll probably cover in another video, but I'll have to wait until the God Valley chapter finally comes out, and then I'll share my opinions on what happened if Oda doesn't actually reveal it there. But just for the record, okay, I'm about to go through all of Blackbeard's stats, and then you tell me if he deserves, if he's worthy of being, what's his name? Zebek's son. Number 1, he captured Ace. He violated Ace in a fight. Now, I don't know why Ace had all this hype. This guy's low-key a bum. He's not even that strong, but you know, he did have conquerors. He was Whitebeard's, like, I don't know, second in command or whatever. I get it, but whatever. Like, if we really think about it in the grand scheme of things, Ace was not that strong. He killed Whitebeard. I'll get back to that, but on paper, okay, he killed a Yonko and he killed his second commander. Okay, or I guess captured him. He could have killed him. Okay, let's just keep this in mind. Broke into a prison and recruited a bunch of the most dangerous prisoners. Now, I bring up this comparison because, you know, Rox got his crew was essentially through Davy back fights. So it's obviously not the same, but it's still similar. You know, it's a very piratey thing to do. Davy back fights or recruiting prisoners from a prison. I don't know. I kind of see, you know, like father, like son in those terms. You know, it's not like Blackbeard went ahead and found people he rocked with the way Roger and Luffy did. But yeah, let's move on. Rules Pirate Island after defeating and killing his father's crewmate. Now, I don't know why he killed his father's crewmate. He could have just gone there and be like, yo, I am your captain's son. But to be fair, the Rocks Pirates didn't really get along and they didn't care about their captains or their captain as far as I remember from reading the recent chapter. So maybe when he went up and he was like, I'm Rox's son, that guy was like, and I care why? I should kill you for being Rox's son. And ultimately got packed. But either way, this is not a strength feat in my opinion. It's just the fact that Rox had control of Pirate Island and now Blackbeard has control of Pirate Island, and you know, they both wanted to make it into a nation, and I'm presuming both of them are going for, well, Rox is definitely going for world domination and Blackbeard is definitely going for world domination. They both wanted to be king of the world. So I'm pretty sure Blackbeard's just following in his father's footsteps. The reason, you know, if it's not obvious enough that Blackbeard wants to be king of the world, I don't know if it was ever actually explicitly mentioned, but what I do remember is, is her name Katrina or something? Whatever, like the girl on his crew with the huge nose that Usopp knows, who touched Saturn and then now she can transform into him. When they asked like what your purpose is, what are you after, and then she said the world. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that, you know, a lot of people are saying Blackbeard and Emu are gonna team up. Low-key, I feel like Blackbeard might kill Emu and become king of the world, and then Luffy's gonna have to defeat Blackbeard. But anyways, not the point of this video. Not the point of this video, chat. Sorry, I'm getting started. He's gonna take advantage of the fact that the revolutionaries are invading, and then he's gonna do what he did in Marineford, and as Dragon is sitting there messing up the Celestials, turning Mergewa upside down, either Emu will be injured or Emu will be perfectly fine and Blackbeard will come in and either make a deal with him or fight him and kill him, or maybe Emu's gonna be one shot and he's gonna do what he did with Whitebeard. But whatever, I am so sure that, you know, Rox's promise to Emu is gonna be fulfilled by his son Blackbeard. And then if you guys remember, there was the payback war, which I'm pretty sure was never even animated in the slightest. They just talked about it after time skip, where the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates, so that includes Jozu and that includes Marco and Vista and all these people, they lost against the Blackbeard pirates. Now again, you could sit there and say they probably did something scummy to win, but they did beat the Whitebeard pirates, which is pretty crazy. Oh yeah, they destroyed Amazon Lily, and we need to keep in mind that Blackbeard defeated Boa Hancock and was literally about to kill her if it wasn't for Rayleigh. That is a pretty crazy feat. Boa has conquerors and she's, you know, the pirate empress. She is crazy strong. Along with the rest of the I forgot their name, the Amazon women or whatever. Like the rest of the woman island ladies, they're all insanely strong. And even really himself said, if Blackbeard decided to fight back against me, I would have lost. Now here's what I think happened. I'm pretty sure Blackbeard also knew that he would be able to defeat Rayleigh. It's just a matter of like the dog hyena situation, where a group of hyenas show up to eat a bunch of sheep, and the guard dog is sitting there and not letting them. And they tell him, you know, if we all gang up on you, we will kill you and take all the sheep. But he says, sure, you guys will probably all be able to kill me together, but not without losing one or two of your pack. So what I'm saying is here, not to get so philosophical, I think the reason he didn't fight really is because he felt like he would lose more than he would gain. You know what I'm saying? He knew he could win, he knew he could kill the dog, but he would lose too much of his pack. And I think the same thing happened. I think the same thing happened with Aokiji. I don't like how badly Blackbeard cowered in fear against Aokiji, but I'm pretty sure Blackbeard knows he could defeat Aokiji. He just knew that Aokiji could probably kill his entire crew before he can lay a hand on him. So he just didn't want to lose his entire trash bomb of a crew. And yeah, he defeated Law, who has a 3 billion berry bounty, defeated Big Mom along with Kid. So overall, what I'm saying is, if we look at his stats, this guy is so worthy of being considered Zebek's son. But where the issue comes in is the fact that he is quite the coward. Okay, he fights dirty, unlike Rox fights people head on. You know what I'm saying? Blackbeard fights dirty. He cowers away in fear, backs away in any fight. I think the things that discredit him the most would be the situation in Amazon Lily, the situation with Aokiji, and even the situation with Law. Let me tell you why. A situation with Amazon Lily, the only thing, his saving grace is the fact that Rayleigh said that he knows for a fact that he would have lost to Blackbeard because of his old age. He's no longer in his prime. It's still weird that Blackbeard probably knew he could defeat Rayleigh, but he looked at him and goes, Dark King Rayleigh, or Silver King, whatever its name is, bro, I forgot. Rayleigh, and he had his tail between his legs and he ran away in fear. Okay, even if he could defeat him, that is not the actions of Rox's son. Aokiji's was even worse. Aokiji heard them talking smack, he heard them plotting something for a microsecond, and he one-shot his entire crew. And Blackbeard sat there like, no buddy, listen, we're all friends over here. Please don't hurt us. And you know why? I mean, Aokiji is not an old man. We can't sit here and say he's past his prime. There is a good chance that Aokiji could have packed Whitebeard right there and then. I mean, Blackbeard. But I don't know. Let's just say for argument's sake, Blackbeard just didn't fight back because he needed Aokiji. But the one thing that I will never defend is the fact that Jesus Burger and what's his name? Da Vinci Van Aguar, the sniper, okay. These two plus Blackbeard himself got one shot by Beppo, Polar Bear Beppo. Are we for real right now? They got a Yonko crew, Blackbeard, who is supposed to be Luffy's final fight of the series, his final villain, the villain of all villains. He got one shot by a polar bear. I don't care if he took Chopper's steroids, okay, because Chopper takes those steroids and the most it does is allow him to suplex Queen. But defeating Blackbeard, and you guys are there and be like, oh, Blackbeard wasn't defeated, he was caught off guard, this, that. Shut up. To add to that as well, in a 1v1, matter of fact, in a 2v1, Law defeated Blackbeard. Blackbeard lost to Law. Blackbeard got sniped out of the sky. He was like, oh, I didn't know he had this ability. Okay, he didn't know that Law could extend his sword, and he was falling into the ocean, and if it wasn't for Van Aguar teleporting him back onto land, he just would have drowned because he's not a fisherman. And the other guy, the horse that could fly, well, he can't really fly underwater, he has a devil fruit, but either way, he was dead too. He was cut in half. So literally Blackbeard was dead. Law defeated Blackbeard. What the hell is going on? That's the thing with Blackbeard as well. This guy's like I was gonna call him Batman, okay? Everybody says Superman versus Batman, who wins? They go, oh well, if it's just a 1v1, Superman obviously wins, but with prep time, Batman can beat anyone. Batman only beats Superman when the writers want him to. But in a real life situation, you give Batman 1,000 years to train for Superman. Even if he has some kryptonite, Superman is realistically realistically, worst case scenario, he goes and gets a huge sheet of metal, scoops up Batman and launches him into space before he can get within an inch of that kryptonite that Batman is so threateningly holding against him, okay? So this is the same situation. Blackbeard versus anyone. Blackbeard is getting packed. Anyone with a respectable name, obviously, okay? But when he has prep time and he knows everything about his opponent, then yeah, he wins, obviously. If he knows their weak spots, he knows what means a lot to them, all of that. He knows how to take advantage of their emotions, whatever. Now, here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Blackbeard 3 personality theories is real, and that he has, you know, evil personality, good personality, cowardly personality. I don't know, but something has to save him. There has to be some sort of switch up. Because if Blackbeard is legitimately this cowardly, oh my god, you know what would be the most 10,000 IQ Lelouch light Yagami play of all time? If Zebek is alive, but I guess his soul was somehow transferred into Blackbeard's body. Maybe he did have the Opi no Mi, and he took his heart and implanted it into Blackbeard. I guess both of their consciousness are in there, and Blackbeard's a real coward, but then Zebek is also in his head, like Aaron speaking to his father and forcing Blackbeard to do things and like dictating his every move. Or if Zebek survived, but he was like critically injured after, you know, the God Valley incident, and he's like on a wheelchair or whatever, like he's finished. He can't fight, he barely walk, he's burnt to a crisp, okay? He's like Armin before he turned into the Titan, what's his name? Colossal Titan. Burnt to a crisp. But Blackbeard is sitting there carrying on his father's legacy for him, and his father's telling him what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Blackbeard's scared and he knows he's not the best fighter, he knows he's up here. I don't know. I just know that this is not Blackbeard's will. I know for a fact that Blackbeard is carrying on his father's will. But yeah, overall, is Blackbeard a fraud? This is the topic of the video. If we're talking in terms of fighting capabilities, I'd say so, yeah. Like, this guy lost the law. This guy got packed by Beppo. I don't care if he got caught off guard. This guy should not have even been moved from his position by Beppo. This guy straight up lost a fight to Law after jumping Law and had to get saved by his crewmate. This guy cowered in fear from Rayleigh because he knew even if he could beat Rayleigh, it would cost him too much. This guy, whatever. Same thing with Aokiji, same thing with everyone. This guy lost to Geared 2nd Luffy pre-time skip in his late 40s or whatever, however old Blackbeard is. This guy should have grabbed Luffy by his noodle of a neck and spun him around like a lasso and threw him to the other side of the world. There was never a moment in time where Luffy should have been equal in strength to Blackbeard pre-time skip. Did I mention that he scored Shanks? He did score Shanks. That alone is probably his most impressive feat. Okay, Blackbeard is not a fraud. He scored Shanks. That, to me, that alone says everything, you know? So he might seem like a real goofball, but at the end of the day, you guys do gotta remember that he's the guy who scored Shanks. He's the guy who captured Ace. He's the guy that killed Whitebeard, no matter how close to death Whitebeard already was. He's the guy that's been moving the One Piece world behind the scenes. He is the whole reason behind the time skip. He's the reason behind Marineford. So his intelligence cannot be denied. His planning skills cannot be denied. Only thing that can be heavily questioned is genuinely just how strong he is physically in a fight. But yeah, do I think he's a fraud? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's a fraud. I just think he's a difficult character to like because he doesn't have the aura that his father has. He's very cowardly and he always takes the dirty way out of things, the shortcut or whatever it may be, you know? But he is a pirate. He's the most piratey pirate of all pirates. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you don't, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.